In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make a popcorn box that looks something like this. The template I'm going to be demonstrating is extremely versatile, and it will allow you to make 3 different size popcorn boxes. This is the biggest one here, this is the next size, and then the third smallest size, which is still quite substantial, is this size. This is the template that I use to make those boxes, and it's designed to work with 12 by 12 cardstock, standard cardstock that you find in local craft stores all around the country. So the first thing you do is you place this on a piece of paper, and then you just trace it around the perimeter like so. And I'm just going to step through this demonstration in the interest of time, but I'm just miming where I'm tracing. So I just go around a perimeter like this, and then the next thing I do is I take a scoring tool and I score down these lines right here. So this would be a scoring tool, and I come through this section here, and then there's the lines right here, and then there's one here and one here. And what you want to do is you want to do this twice, because we're going to fuse the pieces of paper together, and that's how we're able to get sizable, usable boxes. So when I'm done, I'll end up with a pattern like this one. So the next thing I do is I cut out the pieces, and they'll look something like this. So I want to just make sure that I got all the creases in here. I'll just train them like so, like that. So there's the one piece, and here's the second piece that I've done the same thing to. So now what we want to do is we want to bring these two pieces together so that we can make this box. First thing you do is, this is the under flap. Some people call it the gusset. You apply some tape. Normally I would use like a liquid glue or a glue stick to make it more permanent, but for the purpose of the demonstration, it's much neater and cleaner to do it, and quicker to do it this way. So this is an important step right here. You want to line these up perfectly. You want to make sure that this fold matches this fold, and you can usually gauge this from the top, but if you did a slight error in your cutting, it won't match up. So use this folds down here as your guideline, and make sure this is flush to the piece, and then just fold it over like so, and then you've got it put together. If you use liquid glue, you could just set a book on here or something to hold it down. You could also use paper clips, but I prefer it this way. So the next thing you do is you come over to this other little thin strip and apply more tape or glue there. And now this comes around like so. And you want to just bring these pieces together. If you're on a work surface like this, you can just make sure that it touches the table, and you just eyeball it. Again, you're trying to make sure that the folds line up. So essentially, when you're done, it's more or less exact fit. That's the other way you could do it, but sometimes the way you fold it or cut it is a little off. So I prefer to just make sure I get it visually here. So now I've got the popcorn box with the bottom, and you can see I've got these two flaps with the tapers on them right there, and then I've got these two like so. So all I would do is just apply some glue to this flap and this one, and on these, and just secure it down, and I would end up with a box like so. Great use of two-sided cardstock that's available readily in the stores. You can do a lot of things with this as well. You can add ribbons or handles, what have you, just to decorate it and adorn it. There's something else that I wanted to point out too, that I can just take it apart and show you, since I only used the temporary tape. You could just use one of these to make a sort of pocket for holding your cards. Just another neat little application that people seem to find fun. So it's just a little pocket, little envelope, little enclosure. So that's the popcorn box, very versatile. It'll allow you to make 3 different size boxes, these 2 and then the smaller one. And how you make the smaller ones is quite simple as well. I'll just show you the principle of it. So here's the template. We normally would trace the perimeter, but if we wanted to make a smaller one, instead of tracing the top, we would take this one, and this would now become our top. So we'd end up with a shorter shape. If you wanted the medium-sized one, you would just move up to the next part of it. And all the score lines are basically the same. You wouldn't need this part from here to here, so we would just kind of mimic this and taper this down or taper this down, and then everything else works the same. Popcorn box.